am the event and apprenticeship coordinator at the German American Chamber of Commerce. We've been in Pittsburgh for 6 years now, and we are a Chamber of Commerce and Industry connected to the really big one, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Germany. And in Germany, they're the ones managing and facilitating the apprenticeship programs with the companies. And so they gave us the license and permission to manage those apprenticeship programs, the German-style apprenticeship programs here in Pittsburgh and Southwest Pennsylvania. And yeah, the apprenticeship programs in Germany have been around for decades. It's over 100 years. There are over 150 different occupations, and we right now have implemented 3 and are working on the 4th one right now. And okay. What are apprenticeship programs, though? Apprenticeship programs are a very innovative and industry-led approach to education. Industry-led in that regards that we also call it company first. So we will not implement or start an apprenticeship program for an occupation that is not wanted from the industry. In fact, all of this started because we have so many German companies here in the region in Pittsburgh that either have executives that are German or executives that have worked and lived in Germany and have seen the apprenticeship program like in live action, and are so convinced about the benefits of it that they kept asking Rachel and Paul, who both of them founded the GACC, why don't we have that in the US? Like, we need to have that here. We need to build up our workforce with these programs. So and that was all in a different, like, it was a German-American business cycle at first that has been around for 30 years. And they decided to move that step forward to turn into a Chamber of Commerce in order to be able to do these apprenticeship programs. And like I said, all of these occupations are driven by what is needed by the industry and by the companies. They're the ones, like Rachel and Paul talk to them. It's like, what you need in your worker? What skill set do they need? And then compare that to the occupations already existing in Germany. And this is how we came up with the 4 different programs that we have right now, because those are the ones that are actually needed here. Our programs are benchmarked on the dual system. It is considered the gold standard of practical education worldwide. And this dual approach means that, and this is like what it makes it very unique. You go to class, you get your theoretical knowledge, and at the same time you work at a company and like apply the knowledge that you have in a real life work environment. And it makes it, on the one hand, it makes it really relevant what you learn in class, and on the other hand, it just helps attaining this knowledge. And what is also very interesting, and I think we will hear that talking to our apprentices, even though they learn the same thing in the classroom, the application on the job is very different for all of them. And that makes it very interesting, yeah, to work. And they have this exchange in class and talk about the different scenarios and different applications. And it turns out that makes a very competitive workforce when you have them go through these apprenticeship programs. Also, from a company perspective, it increases your employer loyalty, because the apprentices and the employees see that you as a company invest in your workforce, and yeah, they kind of like grow with you, and they're more likely to stick with you rather than changing employers a lot. So let's focus first on our pre-apprenticeship program. So that starts when the students are still in high school. We're talking about like sophomore year, senior year. And it really starts with just like a job shadowing internship position at the company. They get paid $10 an hour. and they rotate through the different departments, and it's more about getting to know what the job will entail so that they can make a profound and a well-informed decision whether they want to go into the apprenticeship program afterwards or not. At the same time, they're taking additional classwork. It's called the MT1, so Manufacturing Technician Level 1 classes, which when they pass the exams, they get a certificate and 6 college credits from CCAC, which they can either use to accelerate accelerate in our apprenticeship program, or if they decide not to be part of the apprenticeship program, they can take that to their other, to their colleges if they accept CCAC credits. And like I said, we have a wonderful program with the Greensburg-Salem High School. Wendy, Joanne, do you want to talk about a little bit about the classroom and the class you created around this pre-apprenticeship program?
Yes, we would love to. We have the apprenticeship program built into our semester coursework, where the students, and we have 2 former students with us who are pre-apprentices, Alyssa and Wayne, and they spent class time with us, then went on to Labeled for the internship, and now they are immersed in the program, and we are thrilled that the program is just so popular. We have 6 students this year that are studying for the MT1. They've taken part 1 of the exam. It just is such a wonderful opportunity. We are just so grateful to the German American Chamber of Commerce. Joanne, what are your thoughts?
Well, last year was our inaugural year, and we have 2 great representatives with us that have went along the journey with us, and along with Rachel and the German American Chamber of Commerce and Lisa, and we all dug in together. And you already mentioned it's a dual apprenticeship program, which we all jump in and help each other, and it is absolutely what the world needs. So on that, we thank you. We're so humbled by everything that you have offered us, and we will let Alyssa talk next. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the program working with the high school was a really great idea, and it's obviously something new around this area. It gave us real world work experience, whereas many high school students don't get that. So we weren't just thrown into high school or college classes and then also working. We got that experience while we were still in high school, and we had Miss Jorgensen and Miss Finoli, who were there with us every step of the way, and then also everyone at the German American Chamber of Commerce and also at Label that were so willing to help us through everything, and it was just a great experience.
Thank you. What departments did you guys work in when you were Labeled?
We went through many different departments. I know I was in marketing. I talked to people in sales. And then we got to talk to basically everyone, human resources. We were everywhere.
Yeah, I think we forgot to mention, so the Greensburg-Salem and Alyssa and Wayne, they're in the sales engineering program right now. And I will talk about that in a little bit, what that entails. Also, what I forgot to mention, and I'm pretty sure Alyssa and Wayne can agree with that, there is no minimum hours that you have to work at the company at your internship. It's, of course, the more the better. But since it's so different working with, especially with senior high school students, like every schedule is different. Some of them already have finished almost all their coursework and can go to the company every day if they want, and some of them can only go once a week. But that's fine. It's just that you get an insight a little bit of that company and what it entails, what it would entail working there full time. And that's what makes that program great too. Like the main focus is still that you graduate high school and get your degree, and as much real experience as you can get in is a plus and is a positive.
Wayne, what would you like to share about your experience?
I mean, you guys hit most of the points for the most part. I think a lot of the success just came from everybody working together really well. And it really all just came together with everybody was communicating together, and it all just kind of fit well. I think overall it helps going to school and going to the place at the same time, because you see what's happening and then you can see it in real time, and you can see the difference and kind of adjust how you look at those things so it fits better in the real world than just getting all the book knowledge and then being thrown into the real world scenario and then being totally thrown off by what's happening. But overall, it was a good moment and a good learning point.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, again, I can only stress how valuable that is, having or being exposed at a young age to what it is to work in a company. I forgot to mention, I was an apprentice myself back in Germany, which is now 11 years ago. So don't do the math about how old I am. But for me, it really helped knowing at a young age, what I want and what I don't want in an employer and for my future career. So it is a very valuable lesson. And we also always say, even if you don't go into the apprenticeship program and don't stick with our program, it is still worth getting this experience. And like I said, if you pass the exams, you get 6 college credits, which is a lot, which is nice. So yeah, when you went through the pre-apprenticeship program, by the time you're graduating, you kind of have to make a decision. It's of course your decision, and also decision on the side of the company. It's we liked, we sparked, we have a connection. We want to move forward with the full-time apprenticeship program. And usually pre-apprenticeship program stops in May, and then you go into full-time working at the company, and it's that again is another phase, because now you're full-time hired there, so you get the full experience, and then you can still make a decision whether that's the right fit or not. And then usually end of August is when the CCAC classroom part starts. And right now, pre-pandemic, we had it every other Friday. Right now it's every Friday for our mechatronics and polymer classes. And the sales engineer go to the normal classes whenever the classwork allows it. So here's a little overview of our 3 programs that are already in place, and then the CAD/CAM programmer will start soon. We're planning on March, April, having it registered with the Department of Labor. Our main partner in college is CCAC. But we also have other training providers like Bidwell. They have great chemistry classes, especially relevant for our plastic apprentices. And the Pitt Manufacturing Assistance Center has great machining classes, because some companies require that they have basic machining skills, and everybody who went through loved it. Everybody wanted to become a machinist afterwards, because apparently it's so much fun. We have a total of 18 companies now with all 3 programs running, and I'm pretty sure we will add a couple more when the CAD and CAM programmer is up and running. Yeah, let's talk about the first one real quick, the mechatronics technician. It's a really cool, very innovative, and definitely an occupation with future, because you will have a combined skill set of mechanical and electrical skills, and you will be able to handle tasks in both areas. What that means in a real world environment is that you will work and maintain a lot with automated equipment such as robots, cobots, and other machinery that is in manufacturing facilities. And since we're moving more towards automation and everything will be more and more automated, mechatronics technicians are in high demand. They can be found in almost any industry where there is machinery. So therefore, it is really, if you have that skill set, you will have a job for the next foreseeable future. Classroom training, like I said, is every Friday at the Mechatronics Lab at the West Hills campus from CCAC, and it's a really cool state-of-the-art campus. They have robot arms there. You will have classes for like basic wiring, what else? Pneumatics, hydraulics, all this fun stuff. And there's a picture of one of our apprentices, Paul. He worked at MSA, and he's working on, I don't know, some wiring for PPE equipment. So like, I think they're doing respirators for firefighter equipment, for example. And this is just one of the many fields where you can find mechatronics technicians. Similar, but still very different, is our polymer process technician class or module. So it's basically, you also work with machinery, but it's all these machines that produce plastic. And the name is, we had to make it a little bit broad because producing plastic can be done in many different types. There's blow mold, injection mold, and I'm pretty sure injection mold, yep. Had to peek there on my slide. But if you go through that program, you can pretty much do all three of them, and you can get employed anywhere at any plastic company in the southwest corner of PA. So the thing is, you will share the mechatronics classes. You will have the same classes as the mechatronics, but then on top of that, you get plastic specific courses in chemistry, and then those like different techniques, blow molding, injection, and extrusion. Also every other Friday, also at the West Hills Center. And I think Dustin will tell us maybe cool stories later on what that job entails. The other one is a little bit different. The sales engineers more on the technical sales side. This is what Alyssa and Wayne are doing right now. So it's a combination of, you have the business acumen skills, but then also technician skills, because you will be the person being on the sales side, talking to the customer and getting to know what the needs are in the equipment. You will be able to sell the equipment, but then also know the technical background. And for example, if the customer is asking for an alteration of the equipment, you can go back to the R&D department and to the engineers and talk to them about that. That's why Alyssa and Wayne were talking about they were in the marketing department. You can also be in the engineering department, in the warehouse. Like it is on you to understand how the whole company is working, and then to be able to make an efficient sale, but then also have the technical background and understanding those like manufacturing processes that take place and able to make your product. And then the last one is a really cool one that we're just about to wrap up, is the CAD/CAM programmer. CAD is the computer-aided drafting, so you will be the one drafting 3D models in software, which is, it's in every engineering department of big companies. You will find CAD programmers. It's also a job that is in high demand, and is really cool. You have some engineering there, you have some drafting there, architectural like understanding, and then also CCAC classes on top of that. And then the CAM is when you have your 3D model and you're the one programming the machine in order to produce that part. So that is also part of being a machinist, for example, and having those like computer-aided machines. You have the product is already created or like modeled in 3D, and now it's on you to bring that to life and to program those machines. It's also really cool software here. You can see those little pictures are just glimpses of what you will learn when you are in this program. That's from my side right now. I would love to hear from Dustin, from Mike, and from Zach about, yeah, your experiences. You just went through the program. You still had your companies. Just like guide us through what your week as an apprentice looked like back then. Whoever wants to start.
Sure, I can go first.
Thank you, Mike.
So,
Mike, where
yeah,
are you right now? You were part of our mechatronics cohort.
yes.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about you.
Well, currently I'm actually in Hagerstown, Maryland on a job site. I've been out here for 2 weeks now. I'm going to be here for a total of 3, helping to finish an install of a new line that's probably about a football field and a half long. So, but I deal with metering systems, getting liquid chemicals to a mix head to produce foam, and then make plastic from that. In my time as in the apprenticeship program, I was going to school on Fridays, taking my classes, and then I'd be back at the shop, and I was using a lot of that, especially the electrical side, because I was building most of the control panels, working directly with HMIs, PLCs, VFDs, and making 4 or 5 bay cabinets that would control this entire line. And now I'm traveling installing those machines. So I've been to Philadelphia, I've been to Detroit, North Carolina, Daytona. I've been to Maine several times now. So it's going good.
It was great that they make you travel in your apprenticeship program. You don't have that often, but that's very cool.
I actually got Alex right next to me too. He just started
hey,
a
Alex.
couple weeks ago.
Can you peek in for a second?
Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm out here with Mike too. Right now, like you said, we're in Hagerstown, Maryland, and this is actually my first time traveling outside of like Pittsburgh in general. So it's pretty cool. Like, and this is only my 3rd week on the job with Mike. I'm obviously a new hire, so it's kind of cool how the fact that like I basically 3 weeks into, or my 2nd week, they're like, yeah, we're gonna send you out to Hagerstown, Maryland to get some on-site job training, and I'm learning a lot. I've learned what a tech screw is. I learned how to properly use a grinder, drilling stuff, impact guns, cable. I learned what a zip tie gun was. That's, but yeah, just like Mike, every other Friday, or pre-COVID, every other Friday we would go to class, and then after COVID, we started doing online classes every Friday. But usually you would, before that you would work, and then you would do your book learning beforehand, and then go into pre-COVID, go into the class and do hands-on stuff, hands-on training.
And just as an explanation, Alex did his apprenticeship program at MSA, same as Paul that we saw in the picture, and now he got hired by Henneke, which is also part of our apprenticeship cohort.
Yes, I was working with MSA for 2 years. Then some things happened. Then I decided to kind of come over here to Henneke, and they were happy to welcome me with open arms, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, but it's also a great example about how you guys went through the same classroom material, and even though you learned at MSA, did your hands-on at MSA, you still like a good fit at the job at Henneke. So you can still transfer your skill set and work at another company, and they're sending you like on trips and everything right at your 2nd week.
Yeah, there were some things that I kind of carried over from MSA to Henneke, and there's still a lot for me to learn, but I mean, I'm open to learning more and more, because obviously MSA was a safety company versus Henneke, which is like polymer, and right now we're doing installation, just like Mike said.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. How about Dustin? Dustin, I think, is our only polymer technician right now on the call.
Yeah, at the moment, I think so.
I'm just gonna mute myself. Yeah, just like walk us through what does your job entail? What is your job like? How was your apprenticeship program?
So during the apprenticeship program, sorry, Thomas, can you mute your, turn your volume down? So I'm getting feedback real quick. The dual apprenticeship was actually really nice to be able to go to CCAC and learn the theoretical side of things in a safe, controlled environment, and being able to make mistakes and not have severe consequences with them. And then being able to take that out into the real world and be more proficient at it and ready to go whenever the time comes for it. Going back and forth to school between work and everything was honestly not that bad, at least for us. I assume it's different for different companies, but VECA was able to send us to school on the Fridays with a company vehicle, and we all went down together and did everything. It was really nice to apply everything that we learned at CCAC to VECA.
And Zach, do you have any additional comments?
I think you're still muted, Lisa.
Oh, am I? Hello?
Either that or, oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
Is Zach still on the call?
Should still be.
Yes, I am here. Good to go. Testing out the mic. All right. Okay, there we go. So
It would be interesting to hear from you too, because you did your associate's degree before you went into the apprenticeship program. Maybe you can compare the two experiences, being like a student only and then being an apprentice.
yeah, so I actually graduated from Newcastle School of Trades through their 15-month electrical technology program, where they teach you how to use your meters, conduit bending, PLCs, three-phase motors. But I got hired on to VECA literally right after I graduated trade school, and that's how I was offered the apprenticeship program through the mechatronics. And the great thing about the mechatronics program is they're able to take what you've learned and actually add on top of that and offer a lot more courses than I was offered at trade school. There's pneumatics, there's hydraulics, robotics. They dive deeper into PLC programming that I wasn't able to do at trade school. So there's a lot of classes and items that I could apply from trade school and mechatronics and apply to my everyday job. So it's a great opportunity to take up.
Great, thank you. I think I also forgot to mention, like when you're in the apprenticeship program, you can either take the classes that are in the program to get your certificate as either mechatronics, sales engineer, or polymer process. But on top of that, if you take additional course classes like genets and whatnot, you can also get your associate's degree. And some of our apprentices are doing that right now. Yeah. Mike and Alex, I know. I'm not sure about Dustin. Are you doing your associate's degree too? Yeah.
Hi.
And Zach already has his associate's degree, but I think you can take additional classes.
Yeah, I'm actually not doing the associate because it would interfere with another apprenticeship I'm doing currently.
Ooh, okay.
I'm currently doing the tool and die apprenticeship that VECA has offered me. So.
That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thank you all for participating and